Little Big Planet is a game that I'm very enthusiastic about and nostalgic towards. The first time I would have ever played Little Big Planet would have been the day before my 8th birthday when I first got my first ever PS3. Before I had played games on PS2, but I had never played Little Big Planet as it was only ever on PS3 and PS4. I first played Little Big Planet 1 when I first got my PS3 and my brother lent me his few of his games. The first game out of that bunch I played was Little Big Planet because the cover seemed the most appealing for me. I tried it out and I loved it. I loved the story, the graphics, how you can customise yourself so well and do emotes and shit. I just loved the game and I played it practically 24/7. It was my life. And then one day my brother took back those games, and then my sister gave me her copy of Little Big Planet 2, and I loved it even more. There was so much more things you could do. You could make a mech, you could make vehicles, shit like that. It was so much fun. And then later on that year for Christmas I got Little Big Planet 3, and it was so good. There was loads of new layers, you could make your own animations. There was loads of stuff you could do. I loved it. And then in 2016 I made my PlayStation Network account and got access to playing online. And I saw loads of other people's levels and was like, oh shit, I'm shite at creating levels, these guys are much better. And to this day I still find levels that amaze me. Like LBP Level Boy's recreation of the modern Sonic system. It's really good. It's better than some actual Sonic games. And this was made in LBP, remember. And there's even some first-person shooters made in the game. And most of them were made in Little Big Planet 2. Imagine that, making a first-person shooter in Little Big Planet 2. Yeah, there's loads of possibilities for this game. One of the things I loved the most about this game was the fact that there's a story mode. I loved the story modes in Little Big Planet 1 and 2. Especially Little Big Planet 2. It was the first Little Big Planet game I ever cleared the story for. Even if I did get help from people. But I did one day eventually go back to all of the bosses and beat them myself. And I was very proud of myself that day. And one time I actually came close to beating it in one day. But I ended up beating it in 2 days. The story of the game of Little Big Planet 3 is that at the end of the introduction level, a lad called Newton brings in Bunkum, his home planet, and he explains to Sackboy that there's 3 titans that are trying to destroy Bunkum, and that Nana Pud, his mother, who he doesn't say at the time, will release the titans and they'll destroy Bunkum. However, this is actually a ploy, and he actually frees the titans himself. And Nana Pud explains that he lied to you, and that he was a very good kid. And then you have to go to Manglewood. And then at Manglewood there's Marlon Random, who is a very good character, and is based on Marlon Brando, the real life actor. He's a very good character, and I love how he's always making movie jokes. And just like all of the other characters in all of the Little Big Planet games, he's a very charming character. With the aid of Marlon Random, you find all 3 marbles and free Oddsock. Oddsock is a new character introduced in the game. One of the 3 playable characters introduced in the game that bring a load of new things you can make in the game. Oddsock can run fast, wall jump, and run up certain walls. He's a very good character, and he brings variety to the gameplay, but he isn't too different. He still feels like a Little Big Planet thing. Once you've gotten all 3 marbles, you get the marbles through 3 different levels, which are a casino, a tree, and a space thing. I forget exactly what it is. Once you find Oddsock, he runs around, obviously, and Sackboy and Marlon Random are very happy to see him. Then, as Sackboy, Marlon Random, and Oddsock are about to go back to Manglewood, Sackboy and Oddsock get Marlon Random and Oddsock get separated from Sackboy, and then you play a level as Oddsock, where you navigate through and learn the abilities which are told to you by Marlon Random. At the end of the level, you get back to Manglewood, and now you can play as Oddsock in Manglewood, the hub itself. So then you have to go across the bridge to Ziggurat, and then there's a boss, which is a giant lizard thing, which is supposed to be a play on those stereotypical monster things from 50s B movies. The boss is very good, and it involves you dodging its attacks and going over to buttons which launch rockets to damage it. It's a very fun boss, and one of the many good bosses in the game. After defeating the boss, Marlon Random brings you to an elevator which sends you to Ziggurat. Once you arrive at the Ziggurat, you meet Papa Mache, who tells you that Toggle also lost his marbles, and you have to reclaim his marbles. There is also 3 levels for getting Toggle's marbles. There is one level where the marble is being used as an eye for a robotic dragon. That level is very fun and involves loads of verticality, and it has very good level design as with all of the other levels in the game. Then the next marble is inside of a furnace, where you have to play as a Yeti, and it is in a top-down thing, which is unlike any other level in the game, which most of the levels in the game are semi-2D, where you can go in and out of layers, but there's not full 3D movement. The last marble is in a labyrinth, where you have to navigate through puzzles and upside-down sections in order to get to the marble. This has a very unique mechanic of being able to platform upside down, and makes great use of the blink ball. Once you get all 3 marbles, you go over to Toggle's statue, and you get the level to find Toggle. Once you go into the level, a cutscene plays where Sackboy and Papa Mache walk up to Toggle, and he runs over, showing off his ability to toggle between 2 forms, Little Toggle and Big Toggle. I'm unsure whether they are the same person or separate people, but judging from how they're characterized, it seems to be separate people in the same body. As Little Toggle seems to be a lot more grumpy, whilst Big Toggle seems to be a lot more happy and enthusiastic. Once Papa Mache, Sackboy and Toggle are about to walk back over to Ziggurat, once again they're separated, this time by a gate. You go through a level learning the ropes of Toggle, and once you've gotten to the end, you are able to play as Toggle in the Ziggurat. You're probably noticing a theme with being able to play as the extra characters in their hubs. As you try to go up the elevator to Bunkum Lagoon, you're interrupted by the second Titan. I've got to say at the start of the review that the first boss was the first Titan. Once you beat the second Titan, which is a boss that is the second Titan possessing some chains, and there is no direct combat, instead you run away using Toggle's abilities to weave around the level. Once again, this is a very fun boss, and it's very well built. Once you beat the boss, you go up the elevator to Bunkum Lagoon, and you come across Pinky Buffoon, I think. And then she says that Soup has also lost his marbles. This time there's 2 marbles, contained within one tower thing with a bell at the end, and another thing, and the other marble is inside the belly of a beast. Once you beat both levels, you find Swoop, who when you're in the middle of flying over, Newton comes along and knocks Sackboy off of the thing that him, Oddsock, Toggle and Pinky are travelling on. And then Swoop appears and saves Sackboy. Then you play through a level of Swoop flying through Bunkum Lagoon as Newton tries to defeat him. As with all of the other levels, this is a very fun level, and I love how every now and then it chimes in with Newton trying to defeat you, and you have to pass puzzles in order to get past. And how at the end he says, "Oh, you weren't playing fair." Once you beat that level, you get to fight the third Titan, except there's a plot twist. Because all 3 of the Titans have exited out of Newton, he becomes good again because the Titans had possessed him, and he apologises to the heroes for his actions, to which they seem to accept. They're mute, so they can't exactly talk. And then he goes over to them, and the third Titan possesses a mech, which is in Newton's image. You have to fight the boss, with the first section being playing as Toggle, and it's and you're at an angle where you're running towards the Titan, and you have to dodge it by walking around obstacles and switching between the two toggles. Once you get past that section, there's a section of Swoop being inside of the monster, and you have to bring a bomb to a certain part of it, and you also have to be quick or else it'll kill you. Then you're playing as then you're playing as Sackboy, and you have to navigate through obstacles and shoot a certain part of the inside of the Titan. And then in the last section, you're playing as Oddsock, running away with Newton and Sackboy on a floaty to get outside of the Titan. Once you get to the end of the Oddsock section, you beat the level, and you get a cutscene of the heroes and Newton falling, and then they get saved by Captain Pud, Newton's father. He gives out to Newton, and Newton apologises. And then at the end, Newton creates a portal for the heroes to get back to Craftworld, which is where the first two games take place. Once they go through the portal, Newton says about how he misses them. And then the game is complete. There's also a DLC of the heroes trying to bring together a party on Craftworld. But unfortunately, I don't have the DLC, so I won't be able to review it. All over, LittleBigPlanet 3 was a very good game, and despite its glitches, it was still very fun. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 7. Thank you for listening to my review. If you want to watch more videos, make sure to subscribe. Once again, as I said in my first video, I swear I'm not one of those like and subscribe video to the video. Because I totally am. As I said, if you want to watch more videos, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, peace out.